overrun a little bit. So, yeah, not normal for us to start 10 minutes late, but we're here all the same. I hope everyone is well. Obviously, I didn't want to make you wait. So we are starting a little bit earlier than I should be, and I haven't got anything sorted. So we can get that sorted. But yeah, hope everyone is well. Hope you enjoyed the video that went up earlier. That's still pretty much the latest where we are. That's still pretty much kind of the latest news. I haven't got anything else other than that at this stage. There's been some interesting thoughts, though, that have kind of come through the YouTube comments. So I can get into some of those in a bit. Obviously, tonight we've got NXT. It's worth probably just taking a moment just to talk about what we've got scheduled. So tonight we've got Nathan Frazier taking on Axiom. We've got Wes Lee taking on Stax. We've got Bron Breaker taking on Javier Bernal, and apparently that match is going to start the show. We've got, I think it's the Dyad, taking on Briggs and Jensen, and Enofe and Blade. Winners will go up against Pretty Deadly. And we've got Alba Fyre taking on Jacey, Jayne. So we've got all of those matches in action tonight. One thing I want to do before I jump into the chat is just have a look at Fightful Select, because I haven't actually been on there today. Just see if there's any interesting news. Talent finishing up with Impact. The Honor No More trio of Maria, Mike, and Matt Taven finished with Impact Wrestling. Maria has been transparent that the trio's deals were coming up, and based on what they'd let their colleagues know, an extension was not reached. They began working for the company in the Honor No More angle before Tony Khan purchased Ring of Honor and began using several of the alumni on AEW shows. Bennett and Taven dropped the tag titles at the weekend. Maria has expressed interest in continuing to help book women's wrestling, including stating that she'd had a conversation with Tony Khan about it. However, we're told Tony Khan plans to continue booking Ring of Honor and AEW himself. Of course he does. There we go. So that's that. Backstage notes, just information on who the producers were. Producers. WWE did not hide Brock Lesnar nearly to the degree they have prior. We're told to expect more crossover between brands and more NXT stars to get looks on the main event. Brock Lesnar coming back was circulated internally as far back as Saturday. Give Me Sports' Lewis Dangor informed us that he was set to return over the weekend. So it doesn't look like there's much really on there. That's everything that's on Fightful Select. Just having a look at Fightful, and nothing on there either, to be honest. It seems a bit of a quiet day today. Oh, hello. Raw viewership. Has that come in? What's the latest Raw viewership numbers? Raw viewership. Let's go down. See what the latest is. I don't know if it's in yet. October 10th, 1.824. That's good, isn't it? That's good. So that is the highest since August, September. So around, what was that? Why was it doing such big numbers? Is that like Triple H? So Raw goes to 19, 22, 19, 19, 2, 21, 2. Then on September 12th, dips down to 17. Is that the start of NFL? I don't know when NFL starts, but we go from 2 to 17. Then it's 159. Then it's 167. Then it's 159. And now it's 182. So got to think that's the Extreme Rules Bray Wyatt effect, 1.824. So that's the rating for this week. It's gone up a couple of 100,000. You've got to remember that it's going up against NFL, I believe. So, you know, we're not going to do the numbers that we were doing before NFL started. If this wasn't NFL season, then we might have got a bit higher than that. But I think 1.824 is pretty good considering we were at 159. So, yeah, I hadn't seen that, but that's the latest numbers in regards to Raw. it's crazy, because if you actually go back to 2019, go back to just 2019, and 2019 they're doing, let's say, August 12th, 2.7, August 19th, 2.5, August 26th, 2.5, September 2nd, 2.5, September 9th, 2.1, September 16th, 2.2, September 23rd, 2.2, September 30th, 2.5, October 7th, 2.3, October 14th, 2.2, October 21st, 2.3, October 28th, 2.1, November 4th, 2.1, November 11th, 2, November 18th, 2.1. Like, back in 2019, they just were not going below 2. There's nothing there at all. Looking at the whole of 2019, there's nothing under 2. It's only December 21st, 23rd, where they do a 1.8, and that's because it was a taped show. That's it. 1.8. Really interesting, that when the lockdown happened, the numbers fell off a cliff. How interesting is that? So once you get lockdown, these two start to become 1.9, 1.8, 1.6, 1.9, 1.7, 1.7, 1.7, 1.9. Numbers fall off a cliff and they just have never recovered. They've never recovered. They've never got back really to that 2 range. We had about a 3-week period, like around August, and that's it. I never actually sit down and look into the history of these numbers. It's really interesting. Really interesting. I'm not going to bore you by going through SmackDown and all the others. I want to jump into the chat, but I kind of found myself going down a bit of a wormhole there. So, but yeah, that was pretty interesting. I remember when there would be 15,000 in attendance and 3 million watching, said Dark Angel. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's really interesting, actually, looking at how it fell off a cliff during the pandemic. It's really interesting. I didn't really make that connection. I thought that it had dropped before that. But if you look at it, it's like 2s all the way up till the pandemic, and then bang, you would imagine everyone being off work in lockdown, everyone's watching TV, you would think that the numbers would go up, not down. If 2 million people are watching you normally, and now more people are at home, why do the numbers go down? Why all of a sudden now are 2 million not watching you anymore when all they've got is time? I don't know. That's weird, isn't it? That's weird. Edward said, I'm popping in to say hello. I'm up at 8 for work. I hope you understand. Of course, Edward. Shout out to you. Hasib said, have you seen Triple H wants to bring in Matt Taven? Do you think Indie Guys is looking to bring in Vincent Dutch? Should go straight to the main roster. I think NXT first. I don't mind people going straight to the main roster. I actually quite like not knowing about people. Part of the problem with NXT is that once people from NXT go to the main roster, I feel like I know quite a bit about them. And what we can then end up doing is repeating what we've seen down in NXT. So, for example, Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross was NXT champion, yeah? We've gone through the kind of introduction process to Karrion. He's had a few feuds, and then he gets to the belt, and he's champion. Problem is, when he gets called up to the main roster, they tend to have him go up against a few jobbers, a few low-level talent, and it's kind of like another introduction, which totally makes sense because people that don't watch NXT won't know him, right? So you've got to introduce him again. But the problem is, if you watch NXT, you know him, and so you have to go back through that process again of, like, being introduced to him and finding out what he's about and all of this when, do you know what I mean? Sometimes it really feels like you get punished for watching NXT, because another thing they can do is they can get you used to someone down in NXT and then call them up and change their name. Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne was amazing down in NXT, bruiserweight. Like, they perfected his character. I mean, he was pretty well-rounded when they first presented him, but, they did a lot, like giving him that fantastic United Kingdom Championship reign. Like, you get to know his mannerisms, the bruiserweight. You get to know what he stands for. You get to be on a journey with him. And then they bring him up to the main roster and call him Butch and change his ring gear. And you're like, what's this? So it's like, if you didn't know him before, you could probably just accept him being Butch because, well, okay, this guy's called Butch. What's this guy about? Like, we don't know anything about him. So what's this guy about? You could probably accept it. But when you knew that he was Pete Dunne before, it makes it a lot harder, doesn't it? So I don't know anything about Vincent and Dutch. I don't know. I don't watch Ring of Honor, right? I don't know like anything about them. So I don't mind them going straight to the main roster. Like, if I'm going to have to learn about them, I would much rather learn about them on the main roster than put them down in NXT. I would much rather that they come in a little bit green, as long as they're not too green, as long as they're not flipping Nikita Lyons or, I don't know, like any of those people that are down in NXT that are just, need a lot of work. As long as they can go in and do some stuff and not look, slow, sloppy, out their depth, and they can get in there. I've got to think if they've been in Ring of Honor, though. I've got to think if they've got that kind of indie background, the only thing they need to learn is how to interact with the crowds, how to work a little bit more of the WWE style. But I would have to think being able to get in the ring and actually put on a decent match, a believable contest, I'd have to think that they've got a jump up on, the athletes that they bring in from next in line, So I really don't mind. I really don't mind them going straight to the main roster. And certainly if Vincent, Dutch are going to be Bray's backup, and they're going to be kind of, in the background of Bray, I've got no problems with that. So, maybe an answer that people might not have been expecting. Maybe people would have expected me to have said, no, let's put them down in NXT. Let's get them, trained up and all this kind of stuff. But my honest feeling is that a lot of the people down in NXT, they need training because they've got no wrestling experience, zero wrestling. Like the first time they stepped into a wrestling ring was when they did their tryout. So everything now is new to them. But when you've got people that have been in Ring of Honor, I feel like they're about 20 steps ahead. So, yeah, you can put them in NXT and just give them a little blast of, training them up to work the WWE style. Or do you just do what you did with Braun? Just put them straight to the main roster and, we can all learn about them at the same time. So, yeah, I'd be down for doing that. I mean, look back in the day where we were bringing in, people from the territories. We were bringing in, people from the AWA, people from Mid-South, people from Jim Crockett. We were bringing all this talent in. And they weren't going to, an NXT, were they? They were going straight to the main roster. Your Rowdy Roddy Pipers, your Mr. Perfects, your Sergeant Slaughters. They were coming in from other territories that clearly were not working the WWE style. But back then, there wasn't a developmental system. It's not like you did your learning on the road. So I think, let's bring them in. Let's learn about them. Let's do it on the main roster. I am not annoying you about it, but how do you feel about Cahoots? I don't know anything about it, but you're not annoying me about it. I just don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan with quizzes, to be honest. It's not something that I am a fan of. It's not something that I look to do. I know there's a quiz YouTube channel that I don't know what it's called, Quizomania or something. I never watch it. I've had a few people asking would you go on it and all that, and no is the answer. It's just not my thing. So, but I don't know anything about it. We have looked. We've done on the web. We did a Spockle. I think it was called Spockle. Is it? I don't know. Spockle. We did an episode where we did a quiz thing. That was pretty good as a one-off. I'd be down for doing that again. But to your answer to your question is I don't know enough about Kahoot or how it would work. If I was hosting it and you lot could play along or something, then that sounds fun. Just Nick said, here is a super chat to tell you about over supers. Here is a super chat to tell you about over supers. Oh, what's over supers? What's that mean? You've told me. What does that mean? What's an over super? An over super? Is it are those super chats that I've missed? Is that are we calling them over supers now? What is that? Is that a new name that we've applied? I'm here for it, just Nick. Yeah, if this is what they're called, I was never aware of that. But just Nick, shout out to you. I can see we have had some in, so I'm guessing that's what it refers to. Over supers. I like it. Hayden said, 15 months as member. How are you, Hayden? It's a long time, Hayden. It's a long time. But shout out to you, Hayden. I'm good. I hope you're well. How's Mrs. Hayden? Hey, haven't asked about that. How's Mrs. Hayden? Just Nick also said, if you was a taser, you would be set to stun. Oh, look at you with your super over. Other super chats. Got you. You don't need to keep super chatting. Just Nick, I appreciate the support, my friend. Of course I do. But I'm with you now. I cracked it. I cracked the codes. You might have noticed from the Bray ones, I'm not the sharpest pencil in the pencil case, but I do get the job done eventually. I do get there eventually. Joseph said, thanks for the like a few weeks ago on the White Rabbit thing. How I've been playing Supercard game. Awesome. Very nice. AEW will never be as good as WCW, said Jekyll and Hyde. Hayden said she's doing very well. Very nice. Brian's bragging. He's 25 months, Brian. 25 months. That's insane. Even I've not been on this channel this long. That's very, very impressive, dude. That's very impressive. I think you've put that out there just to put Hayden to shame, and you get extra points for doing that. I think if you're going to show up other community members in a kind of passive-aggressive style, you get extra points from me. I like seeing that. I'm not someone that likes all this getting along, holding hands, singing Kumbaya, yeah? A little bit of needle in the chat. That's all right with me. So, shots fired by Brian there. Dark Angel. Brian says, "Nah, come on. That's what you did. You can't tell me that a super chat, an over super came in of 15 months, and then you were like." 25, and you didn't think that's why you... Come on, we're all on to you. Never. Sami Zayn is super over, said 420 pent. That's true. That is very true. Austin, 27. Here we go. Nice. Do you know what it's making me think? It's making me think of that meme in a church where you've got someone that sat at the front. You've got Hayden sat at the front, who's 15 months. You've got Brian sat behind, who's 25. And then you got Austin, like this, with his 27 months. It's nice. Oh, God. Oh. How must Hayden feel right now? Wow. Brian heel turn, said Jordan. That's what we've got. It's kicking off in the chat. You know me, guys. I don't like to encourage such activity, but... Philip said, what do you think WWE should do to keep Bray fresh so people don't get tired of him? What do I think they should do to keep Bray fresh? I think that they should not use him on both shows, obviously. So, and also, his matches need to feel important, so... really try and keep him similar to Roman. I think you can have him on the show. I mean, look, Roman feels big time, yeah? And he's got this massive entrance and everything. I really think you could look at that as a bit of a blueprint for Bray. You don't have to go down that path, but I kind of feel like if Bray was able to come down to the ring and do promos in ring, it could be very interesting with his family behind him. That could be very interesting, so that it mixes it up a little bit and it's not just the same things. We should get some of those type things. We could get some vignettes. You don't use him on both shows. His matches are on pay-per-views. Give him good, creative stories that take their time. There's no need to rush. I think part of the success with Roman is that his title reign has been so long, but it, to me personally, doesn't feel as long as it actually is, because a lot of these stories and little things that are happening have been allowed to breathe. I mean, if you think of everything that's happened from like Roman getting Jay to acknowledge him and actually like, beating him down inside a Hell in a Cell and all of that to get him on side and to acknowledge him. And then like Jimmy was out injured. Jimmy came back and then we didn't know if Jimmy was going to fall in line. Jimmy eventually fell in line. Jay convinced him to fall in line. There was a bit of resistance. So, he ended up getting that. Then, of course, we get the whole Paul Heyman, Izzy with Roman, Izzy with Brock. We got all that story playing out. Then, of course, we had Sammy join in. Then we've had Solo join. Like, there's been loads. And then there's been loads of feuds that have been in there as well. Like, the story's constantly moving forwards, but it's constantly moving forwards. Not the quickest of paces, but the details are really interesting. And I think with Bray, oh my God, the details are essential, aren't they? Bray Wyatt, every single thing, every blink is analysed. So you do not need to be moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Slow it down, really focus on the details, and mix it up as well, Don't just do Funhouse, Funhouse, Funhouse. Because Funhouse, Funhouse, Funhouse is great, but the problem you've got is that towards the end, what we were getting were promos inside of a Funhouse background. They were not real Funhouses, and that's because we were going a bit too quick. They felt we needed a Funhouse every week. Like, oh my God, it's Raw, we need a Funhouse. Well, you don't have one, right? You don't have one. You only recorded several, and you've shown those. So what are you going to do? And so, a good chunk of those Funhouses were really just promos. They were just promos in front of a Funhouse background, and maybe the odd puppet would say something. And to be honest, quite a few of those I found not underwhelming, but they were hyped as being a Funhouse. We're going to Bray's Funhouse, and you go, oh my God. But it just wasn't that. And I kind of feel like you don't want to disappoint your audience like that. You've got to avoid disappointing people. So let it breathe. Let it take its time. Don't promise things that you can't deliver. If you don't have a Funhouse or something along those lines, then have him do a vignette in the ring. Because you won't see that all the time, that will be special. That will feel different. And so you can easily get through a week by just doing that. And as I said, all the little details. Look at what they're doing with Sammy at the moment. It's great. The Sammy stuff is brilliant, and the Sammy stuff is keeping Roman fresh. So you don't even need really like Bray involved in stuff if he's got a family. And the family dynamic is going to be really interesting to explore. So his relationship to all the different members, and what do the different members bring, and what are their goals, what are their ambitions, what are their abilities, what are their weaknesses. Like, we've got to learn so much about them that, again, you can do that over a period of time, and it's going to be so interesting. I do think as well that he needs to keep embracing the Easter eggs. People love reading into things. So as long as in his segments there's still something that allows us to have a conversation. Why do you think he said this? Why do you think that such and such seemed a bit distant? Or, what is it that we can get our teeth into afterwards? I think as long as they're providing that, there's no reason for this to go and feel stale. I think there's so much to explore. There's so much to get your teeth into. It's very exciting, very, very exciting. I do think, and I've had people in the YouTube comments saying they disagree with me, but I do think that he was restricted last time because I think he wasn't doing promos in ring. We were getting promos in the Funhouse, and he couldn't do promos as the Fiend. So we were not getting, him being in a ring. And when he was going in a ring, he was having to do it as Funhouse Bray. And Funhouse Bray was a very specific character who was always really jolly and always, there was a darker side, a serious side. But I don't feel like I was ever really getting... I don't know if I can say I was getting the truth. I don't know that I was really feeling that connected with Funhouse Bray. It felt like Funhouse Bray was covering stuff up. I mean, he kept silencing Rambling Rabbit, who was trying to speak out, And clearly there was times where Funhouse Bray would go quite serious. You never felt like you was getting to the real Bray with Funhouse Bray. And The Fiend was just a completely different entity. So I think that there was limitations with Funhouse Bray and with the Fiend, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I think we can cast those limitations away. I really would love. I keep saying it, but I would love a new version of Bray, similar to the cult leader Bray, which can go into a ring and have a bit more freedom, but has the ability to play other personas. Like, this should not be the end of the Fiend. We should be able to see the Fiend. Why should the Fiend go away now? He shouldn't. Like, we should be able to get the Fiend. You should be able to still get Funhouse episodes. Why do we need to get rid of the Funhouse? Like, I don't think we do. I think that there's still a place for the Funhouse. Might not be every week, might not be on a regular basis, might just be a one-off special treat. But there's no need to get rid of things that worked. But I think by and large, week by week, I don't think the Funhouse is the way forwards. And I don't think the Fiend is the way forward, because the Fiend is special occasions. The Fiend is Balor's demon type situation, yeah? So you're not going to have that every week. Funhouse is what we had every week. But the problem with the Funhouse, as I said, was that they were basically disguised promos, because you only had so many that were recorded. And then the other ones, they just had to cobble something together. I think you can do something, I don't want to say better, but I think you can do something that's a bit more long-term. I think you can do something that doesn't need as much kind of work put into it. And that could just be putting him with the family and exploring the dynamic between him and, like what Roman does. Do you know what I mean? Like Roman, his thing, it works. He hasn't got a Funhouse, but he's got a family. And at the moment, we're exploring the relationship between Sammy and Jay and Roman and Jay. And we're exploring those dynamics. And that's long-term, and it works, and it's interesting, and it's got depth, and we don't know where it's going, but we can speculate about it. So that's my point. Like, you don't need to be within a Funhouse with puppets. Like, you can still do it with people and explore those dynamics, and that might be easier in, like, the long run. So, food for thought. JP Ville, shout out to you, said, Fiend hacking reminds me of Max Headroom incidents. Yeah, a lot of people keep mentioning Max Headroom, and I'm not sure. I'm not against it, because I can see the similarities. But he was like a head and a shoulders, first of all, and there's no shoulders on this creation, like this mask thing. He also glitched and stuttered, and we don't tend to see that. Like, I don't know that I see those comparisons either. He also had his own space. I mean, here in the UK, he had his own show. So, like, he didn't necessarily have to hack in. I mean, he did do that, and there was kind of static and things on screen. So, it's a tricky one, because I can see comparisons, but I don't know that it's the best of fits, but I can see why people reference it. I mean, I suppose what I should do is, rather than just talk about it, pull up a picture, so that those that aren't familiar with him, he was someone that was, I believe he was British. I think he started off in the UK, and very weird kind of creation. Very early 90s, was it? 80s, early 90s? I did catch him a few times when he was on, but so this guy here. So as I said, it's not like a mask. There was a lot of people thought that he was computer generated. I think it was a guy with like prosthetics and everything. But as I said, like, I don't know that I look at that and see this current creation, but he did have interference and, was like jumping a bit. Yeah, I mean, I can see some bits. Do you think Bray is coming to SmackDown to call out Goldberg? Do I think Bray is coming to Goldberg? Do I think Bray's coming after Goldberg? Well, it depends if Goldberg comes back, to be honest. The Max Headroom hack was a pirate signal that hacked a news channel, not the actual Max Headroom. Oh. Let's have a look then. I don't know about this other one then. The Max Headroom signal occurred on the night of '87 when the television signal in Chicago was hijacked, sending a pirate broadcast of an unidentified person with a Max Headroom mask and costume to thousands. The first incident took place... Oh, I don't know about this. So it hacked in on like Chicago and hacked in. Unidentified hijacker resembled Max Headroom in a pirate broadcast. Okay. So Max came in and hacked like the Chicago area. It was like a pirate that hacked the Chicago area. Criminal investigation. Okay. Yeah. Someone hacking in, yeah. Well, I can definitely see those comparisons, yeah. Do you think we get Rock Roman at WrestleMania? Yes. Eric said, CM Punk's from Chicago. CM Punk to WWE confirmed. Keaton said, what is your dream match for Bray? Randy. Yeah, I mean, Randy's his arch nemesis. So I think those two going up against each other, I think that very much is his arch nemesis. He's got to get a win over him. He's lost to him twice at WrestleMania. I can't imagine them not facing again. So I've said before, I want it to be a straight up normal, totally normal wrestling match. I think that Bray has done a lot of other things, and we've had projections in there. We've had a Jack in the Box. We've had black goo coming down Alexa's face, and all this kind of stuff. In all fairness, his actual matches at WrestleMania 33 and WrestleMania 37. There was nothing supernatural about them. I mean, yes, you've got Alexa with black goo coming down her face, but she is on the outside of the ring. She's like, it proves to be a distraction, but there's nothing the Fiend is doing. It's not like the lights go out, they come back on, and he's floating in midair. Do you know what I mean? So, in all fairness, his matches at 33 and 37 were, you could say to a degree, like normal wrestling matches, but I feel like take away some of that noise and just have him come down and have a wrestling match, because I think one of the things that Bray really needs is a top quality wrestling match. I do think that we run the risk of losing the sight of the basics, and the basics are wrestling matches. This is what we have. This is what it is. It's wrestling. So like, he needs some good quality wrestling matches. That is something I would say the Fiend just never delivered. Was really good quality wrestling matches. I would say the best one was probably him against Daniel Bryan in a strap match. And for me, that was probably about a 375. Like, I would love to see Bray go out there against his arch nemesis on a massive stage at WrestleMania and get a victory. I want him to win. I want him to beat Randy. I want him to, be booked really well. I think that you can... have a fantastic build. The story's done. We know the backstory. Yeah, we know everything that's happened between them. And I think that if Bray could step into the ring and beat Randy clean and get the win over Randy, you don't need to mess around, because if you mess around, it devalues his victory. If you're gonna have him doing spooky silliness, it's gonna devalue his win. Because he didn't win clean. He won because of spooky reasons, right? I think he needs to go in there. I think he needs to put on a banger. I mean, look how people loved Seth and Cody this year. Look at how people loved Becky and Bianca. Look at, the praise that people gave those matches. You never hear that for Bray. This is not a knock of Bray. I'm just saying that if we're going to be honest, we've got to say that's what he needs to deliver, or that's at least one of the things he needs to deliver, because his creativity is undeniable. Look what he's doing. from a creativity point of view. It's undeniable. And if he comes back and he has a family with him and all that kind of stuff, it could be really interesting. But one thing that he does consistently fail to deliver is his in-ring. And so I think that is, if you're going to ask me what my dream match would be Bray, Randy. They're the biggest of rivals. That's like, Rock, Austin, kind of the biggest, they're rivals, Brett and Shawn. I feel like it's Bray and Randy. So you put them in there at WrestleMania and you have Bray win. And any spookiness devalues it. It does. It might not devalue it to all of you guys that, really enjoy that stuff. But I'm telling you that to other people, he will not get the credit he deserves. And it will be seen as not being clean. And I think that if he was to do it clean, he would show that he can do that. And then that silences the doubters of that. Do you know what I mean? And it gives him, dare I say, his WrestleMania moment, because I don't know that he's had any WrestleMania moments yet. I mean, he's been at WrestleMania and he's had matches, but he's lost every single one. I mean, the only one that you can say he's won is potentially WrestleMania 36, and I'm still scratching my head as to what that was. So I feel like he needs a good, solid win on his resume against Randy and potentially put that to bed. Potentially put that to bed. Jim said, can we mention "Revel in What You Are" is a Hannibal Lecter quote before he embraced his evilness. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Harley said, I know it didn't happen, but there's a cool theory that Bray wasn't turning up at Extreme Rules because in Alice in Wonderland, the White Rabbit's clock was 2 days late. Yeah. Well, didn't happen, did it? That's you're right. There's lots of fun theories that were doing the rounds, but yeah, I heard that one. It didn't go that way. Had it gone that way, yeah, it could have been cool, but it didn't. Bray versus Cody, SummerSlam 2023, due to cost him the title. But Bray can come back for no less than Roman. Let's read this. He needs big impact and ride a lot of momentum. If not him, it's got to be a top guy. He can't afford to waste time on mid-carders, said Jacqueline Hyde. I think he can if the story is right. If the story is strong enough and there's a backstory and it makes sense and you can look at it and go, totally get it. Because, for example, he could do something with Alexa. Do you know what I mean? Alexa's not going to get him anywhere near a title. But it makes total sense as to why he would look at Alexa as being something he needs to resolve. Now, obviously, he can't resolve it, and he shouldn't try and resolve it. He's going to need a female to do it for him. And, imagine Alexa versus Liv. Imagine that. Alexa Bliss versus Liv. Liv as part of a Wyatt family. And Alexa trying to stand up for herself, and basically trying to fend off the Wyatt family's attacks. Like, I think that could be really interesting. Really interesting. So I know that wouldn't be like his attention necessarily, but that's my point would be that if it was something along those lines, you could totally understand why he was doing it. Goldberg, for example. I don't think anyone's going to mind if he goes after Goldberg because Goldberg gave him one of his most crushing blows, one of his biggest losses was at Super Showdown. And I think that if he went after Goldberg, I think people would totally understand why he's doing it. And if he can get revenge for that moment, I think that would be quite satisfying for Bray fans. So I feel like Roman is definitely on the list because Roman took his title away from him. And there's a few things Roman did to Bray, actually. But one of them is he took his title away, his second Universal Championship. So he definitely needs to get at Roman. I just don't know at what point you do that. I don't know. Because the thing is, if you go after him now, you've got to think that Bray's going to be champion. And I think there's a little bit of concern there. We said the other day, at the moment, Bray is the hunter. And I think people like Bray being the hunter because when he's the hunter, he can pick his moments. He's the one that's in control. And that's where you want Bray, really. When he's champion, he's the hunted. And I don't know that he works as well being the hunted. I think he works better being the hunter. He works better when he's chasing a title, when he's chasing a target, when he's going after someone. Not when people are coming after him. It doesn't work quite as well. Obviously, I think he should be champion at some point, and I think he should have a title reign. But I don't know. I'm really torn as to, do you go after Roman now, or do you just park it? I mean, that will always be there, won't it? The Randy feud will always be there. Well, as long as Randy's not retired. The Roman feud will always be there, as long as Roman's not retired. And, Alexa will always be there, as long as she's not retired. So I kind of feel like there's a few options for him. And, I don't know, he's a bit of ring rust. Do you go after someone else first, shake off the ring rust? It's a way of introducing the family. I don't know. It's a tricky one. I mean, it does feel like Bloodline might be the most likely right now. Because if he is going to go to SmackDown, we went down the list and there's not many targets. So, it's interesting. Primo said, could you look up 2022 Raw ratings between July 25th to September 5th? Numbers were starting to pick up and football crashed momentum. Yeah, we just looked at it. We said there was a 4-week period where it got to 2 million. But as you said, NFL came along and it went down. So we did note that. Wrestle with Andy said, do you think we get Red Riding Hood reveal? Oh my God. Oh, man, you've just totally reminded me of my absolute favourite thing that happened last week, and I'm going to include Bray's return in that. Nothing was better last week than seeing Little Red Riding Hood getting told off. That was the pinnacle of wrestling. That was Hogan Andre levels. Do you know what I mean? When we look back on wrestling, I think Little Red Riding Hood, this mystery person that's been around for a few weeks, who's still a mystery, being told off by Joe Jacey was just next level bants. It was just absolutely incredible. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. So, yeah, big fan of that. Big fan of that. If we get more of that this week, then, oh my God, I'm just, sign me up as the biggest NXT fan. That was great. Yeah, I'd forgot about that. That's why you're here, Wrestle with Andy. That wonderful memory of yours. Everyone likes Bray because of his character and not his in-ring work. That is something that needs to change a little bit, says Crossover. Yeah, I agree, because I think he's got his character stuff down, and whatever this new character is. Oh, is any of us sat here right now thinking this new character's going to bomb? Because I don't. I don't think that this character, he just hits it every time. I mean, Fiend was so popular, and Funhouse Bray was so popular, and Puppets was so popular. And what was he doing before that? Cult Leader Bray, so popular. The only time that it missed was maybe when he was with Matt Hardy. But, I mean, we got the final deletion stuff out of that. Do you remember the final deletion? That was pretty fun. Then, the tag team was a bit, but how much control did he have over that? That was really Vince, wasn't it? So, with the freedom that he's got now and the time that he's been away, gotta think all he's done is think about his next creation, and there's clearly something happening, isn't there? We are not seeing the Funhouse. He has not come back with the Funhouse. He's come back with this face that's breaking through. Max Headroom incident, Anonymous, whatever you want to refer to. You're definitely getting something different to the Funhouse. When we saw Bray last time, first thing we saw was Mercy in a box. Second thing we saw was Sister Abby in a rocking chair. And then what we got was the 7 Funhouse episodes. And that led to the return of Bray, which was an attack on Finn Balor. And so he attacked Finn Balor in the arena, and that, boom, that was it. We're not getting that. It's not like he's come back with Mercy in a box, Sister Abigail in a chair, blah, blah, blah. what we're getting is we are getting this face on screen, and we're getting a brand new mask that he can take off with a lantern that's a blue light now. Like, there's differences here. There's things that are going on, and wherever it's going, I've no doubt it'll hit. No doubt it'll hit. It's definitely got the eyes of the wrestling world on it at the moment. Why not use Bray and Jacey to bridge the gap between WWE and NXT? Have them work together and go after wrestlers on both shows. Don't mind that, to be honest. I don't mind that. The only concern would be if you overdo it. So the only concern would be if you just go a bit too far with like the Bray stuff, and then you're getting him on, say, SmackDown, and you're getting him on NXT. I mean, I wouldn't use him on NXT. I suppose you don't need him there. You just use Joe Gacy instead. And Gacy could be talking about answering to Bray, and you don't even necessarily need to mention him. You could just refer to him as he wants us, and we all know who he is. So I don't mind that, to be honest. I don't mind that. You've just got to be really careful to not overdo it and not water it down. You know, you can have too much of a good thing. But no, I don't disagree. I think there's a way forward with that. I think that's a good shout. The whole segment from Bray came across as a memorial of the past, said Jekyll and Hyde, and now a rebirth. I do think he's bringing something fresh. Lewis said, what's your opinion on Funhouse Bray versus Miz at Extreme Rules 2019? What's my opinion on it? I thought it was I think that was the first time, wasn't it, that we saw Funhouse Bray actually in a match. So my opinion was, I thought it was good that we had another character that could actually wrestle. So not only was it the Fiend that was having matches, but it was Funhouse Bray that was having matches. I thought the match was so-so. I mean, I honestly don't remember what I scored it. I don't want to sit here and, like, you know, make something up and lie to you. I genuinely can't remember what I scored it. My thoughts will be on the live watch-along for it, so you'd easily be able to go and find my live thoughts to it. What I can do is tell you what... don't know if I want to show you... Don't know if I want to tell you what Meltzer scored it, because he probably wasn't favourable. But can I say that if it was good, he would at least recognise that? Don't know. Let's have a look. Let's see what he scored it. What did you say it was on? Extreme Rules? Extreme Rules 2019. I've got Extreme Rules 2019. It's not listed. Let me have a look. Funhouse Bray versus Miz. Funhouse Bray versus Miz. TLC, is it? TLC. TLC 2019. TLC. Everybody loves TLC. I've actually got my reaction to it as a separate video.
Okay, here we go then, guys.
Imagine if I get
time.
Imagine if I get copyrighted.
I'm expecting. Brian is not. The mallet's still there though. Funhouse Bray and the Fiend in the arena, so Bray has got the crowd with him. Just doing some stuff at the moment. They're just building some very interesting matches.
So now I'd have to sit and watch it all. I don't seem too down on it. Bray Wyatt versus Miz, TLC, Dave Meltzer ratings. We are starting with NXT. Booker T. Oh yeah, I forgot Booker T. Booker T. This will be good. Wow. It got 0 stars from Meltzer, but I don't know what you can read into that. I mean, look, all I'm going to tell you is I don't remember any Funhouse Bray match or Fiend match that blew my mind. The best, highest rated one, I think, was about 375. That was Bray Daniel Bryan at Royal Rumble. I don't remember anything getting to that level for me. But, I don't know. Was it like super short or something? Why was it a dud? Why was it no stars? No stars. 0 stars from Dave Meltzer. I mean, it didn't get negative stars, so there is always that. Can you dig it, suckers? Yes. Live 1 week from Saturday in a show that I think we worked out we could watch, didn't we? I'd like to watch it, but Saturdays are a bad day. There's always stuff going on. Javier Bernal. Bang. Dragunov in the building. Let's go down. Who will challenge Bron Breakker? Well, it's coming up in a week on Saturday. It's Dragunov and JD Manamana. Big body Javier Bernal. Harley said, I think Bray Cody is the best option. Both a huge name who recently returned. Can play into the fact that Cody was Husky Harris's mentor and he didn't do well. Yeah, I do like that. I do like that. JD Manamana making his way down with Javier Bernal. When you think of character work, Mankind, Kane, Early Taker, they're not top quality wrestlers. You won't get Bray to do a fast-paced classic. He's a character with old-school wrestling. Yeah, I would disagree, though, that they still had good matches. There was still good matches in there from those. I mean, those matches between Mankind and Undertaker were fantastic. Not even just the one at Hell in a Cell, but look at the one from Hell in a Cell and look at the big spots. I mean, that goes down as one of the most iconic matches. Boiler Room Brawl as well. That was fantastic. So I kind of feel like, yeah, look, Bray's not going to be an in-ring technician. What Bray is a brawler. Look how popular the brawling style is. Brawling style is Gunther and Sheamus. That it's just laying it in and just, taking your 10 pounds of flesh. And that is popular, man. People are loving that as much as they ever have. Like the bangers after bangers after bangers for many people. Imperium against Brawling Brutes was their favourite match from Extreme Rules. And Gunther against Sheamus was a lot of people's favourite match from Clash at the Castle. So, as I said, there's no reason as to why Bray can't go in there and deliver something on that level. There's no reason. If you don't have, like, the aerial abilities and you don't have, like, the mat technician submission style of, like, a Daniel Bryan, then what is your wrestling style? Well, his wrestling style is brawling. He's in the same bracket as a Sheamus, same bracket as a Gunther, same bracket as a Brock Lesnar. No excuse as to why his matches can't be good. Zero excuse, because all of those wrestlers deliver great matches. So there's no reason as to why he can't do that. Banger after banger after banger after banger. Excellence of Excuse said Bray's not on Foley or Undertaker level for in-ring. Well, this is where the conversation is, isn't it? Like, I feel like there was limitations as to why he wasn't able to perform at that level, but I think he could. I think he could. If you plan the match out in advance and you book it properly and you put in the right spots and the dramatic moments, the close pinfalls, all that kind of stuff. Like, you sit down, you really put the work into the match. Because I've got to be honest, I don't think Undertaker ever did any work with Bray when they faced each other at 31. And I don't know how much, like, Cena was on board with, like, working with Bray. I feel like he probably was, but Cena was always going over. So Cena won at 30. Undertaker wins at 31, and Undertaker was not around for the builds. So, like, imagine now with Bray in the position he's in, which is a massive star with a massive contract. a massive amount of creative control. Not total, but, you know, he's got a voice. Let's put it that way. He's definitely got a voice now. Imagine him being able to sit down and actually plan out a match and put a match down. I feel like he can do this. I believe he can do this. I believe he could deliver a really good match. I don't believe that he can't. 1, 2, Bron Breakker picks up the win. It's a squash match to start NXT. He outpaced Javier. That thing took no time at all. He catches him. He plants him down. Straps came down early, and Bron Breakker has retained. Will Bron lose the NXT title, or will Bron retain at Halloween Havoc? Don't know. I feel like Bron, I mean, he's getting seasoning at the moment, but how much seasoning does he need? So I feel like Bron, I don't want to say he's ready, but I think if you want to move on him, you probably could. He's been in NXT and used in NXT for over 12 months now. Here's JD Manamana getting in the ring and stepping up to Bron. So Bron beats Javier in a squash. Here's Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov making his way down. Dragunov getting into the ring. Headbutt by JD. Strikes coming in, driving Bron back. This match will be great at Halloween Havoc, said Basketball Pro. Airflow said, what 3 opponents do you want Brock to face before he retires? I want Edge, Gunther, and Riddle. Gunther. Do I want Edge? Be a bit worried for Edge. Riddle, because Riddle wants that match. So, yeah, I'd do Riddle. I'll go... It's got to be Bray, innit? It's got to be Bray, Gunther, and Riddle. But I would like Gable Steveson as well, because of their backgrounds. I would like Gable Steveson. I think I'd rather Gable Steveson than Riddle, actually. I feel like Riddle might be a bit small. I know he wants it, but Bray, Gunther, Gable Steveson, yeah, that'd be my 3. So Ilya accidentally hits Bron. I don't think he really cares about it. Stands tall with the title. So we had Ilya and Bron and JD McDonough all in the ring. Obviously, they're building towards their match that's coming up for the title. So 10 minutes into the show, and we're building towards that Halloween Havoc show. Have you seen AEW ratings in 2021? It started the year at 600,000 against NXT, then surged to 1.3 by September, then it closed the year at 800,000, said Primo. Austin said, I need Bray and Brock one day. I was bummed. I did hear that. We didn't get it at WrestleMania 32, but I think that was a good thing it didn't happen, said Austin. He would have lost. Was it a good thing? I think I'd rather have seen him lose to Brock than do what he did with The Rock, to be honest. Don't know. don't know. I would have liked to have seen it, but at least it saves it for now, doesn't it? Alex said, what do you think Bray meant when he said, who killed the world? You did, madam. I don't know that he says madam. I don't know that he does. I keep trying to listen to it, and it's just not clear. I mean, I've turned it right up, had my ear right against the speaker. I even turned the closed captions on to see if it picked it up, as to, like, picked it up that way. It didn't. I couldn't pick it up. I mean, look, I think there's a chance that's what he says. Definitely a chance. Definitely a chance. I'm not going to say that's not what he says, but I don't know. I don't know that's what he says. Let's put it that way. And if he does say that, I have to think he's talking about Alexa. Airflow said, how much longer do you think Brock will continue to wrestle? As long as he wants to, which is a real rubbish answer. But the only person that can answer that is Brock. He doesn't need the money. Doesn't need the money at all. I think that he has got, he wrestles once in a blue moon. So his body, I should imagine, is relatively all right. It's not like he's been on the road and his body's beaten down and he's suffering from injuries. I mean, not only does he work a reduced schedule, but he has, all that time in between. So he only fights a few times a year and he has plenty of time to recover. So I can't see any reason why he can't keep showing up, picking up paydays. It's easy money. Do you know what I mean? It's easy money. Apart from having to go to these different places where Raw is taking place. I mean, he doesn't have to do any house shows. He doesn't do house shows. He just turns up at Raw or SmackDown. And, that's it. And, big pay-per-views. So, apart from actually traveling there, what work does he do? Really? I mean, look at... what did he do on Raw? His music hit. He walked out, yeah? He walked out, stood there, came down to the ring, circled around the ring, got in. Hi, Brooklyn. Hi, Bobby. Picks him up. F5. German suplex. Another German. Arm crank. Off home. No elaborate match. No elaborate promo. And he never used to have to do promos before because Paul Heyman would do all the talking for the longest time. He would show up and stand there and not even have to do anything. Just has to be there. Just needs his presence. He's got the easiest job. And the millions that he gets paid for that. I do not begrudge it him at all. But it's man, he's figured out life. He's figured out life. He's found the cheat code to life. Fair play. So, nothing but respect. But, look, it's down to Brock. Only Brock will know when he wants to call it a day because it'll just come down to whether he's enjoying it or not, really. I don't think, it's impossible to know. Axiom's up next. Axiom is in the ring. Axiom versus Nathan Frazier. Here we go. Brock's the $1 million man. It's worked it out, mate. Do you think AEW lost some viewers because they were closing the gap with Raw? There was a Dynamite that did 1.2 and Raw did 1.5. Why do you think they lost viewers? Well, I think there's quite a few reasons why they lost viewers. I think 1.2 for them to get there was them totally exceeding. They've got a fan base that seems to be about 950,000. And we've said that for them, in order to get to 1 million, they just need something fairly sizable. Need something that's, like a title match or MJF's coming back or, some buzz, should be able to get them to 1 million. They're just annoyingly, their fan base seems to be just under it. But they should be able to get to 1 million. If they've got some good stories going and CM Punk's in and he's involved in a big title match, or a big title feud, and you've maybe got Wardlow, MJF, you got some things cooking, you might be able to get a bit above that, but their ceiling seems to be 1.2. They just can't break through that. They just really struggle to break through that. So I feel like everything's got to be cooking. Everything's got to be going. You've got to have all of your superstars healthy, and they've got to be involved in some great stories. If that's the case, they should be about 1.2. Anything less than that, like if they've got some fairly good going, but it's maybe not all, everything's cooking, they've got, one or two things cooking, they should get to 1 million. If it's just an average week where it's like just an average week, then they might just bob at 950. If things are going bad for whatever reason and they've got some big competition, then maybe they go down to 800,000, 850, something like that. So that seems to be kind of where we are. That's kind of the parameters that I work on. So the bottom line is, why couldn't they close the gap? And the answer is, I think the network's part of the problem. I don't know really. I don't know on the network they're on that they will get to Raw numbers. And I think that 1.2 seems to be them maxing out. I think wasn't 1.3 or 1.4. Was it 1.4 their debut episode? And they've never been above that. 1.4 is the absolute pinnacle that they've ever achieved. And that's down to sheer intrigue of what is AEW all about. And people found out, and it's never been those heights again. I think they have done a 1.3, but you can count on one hand when they've done a 1.3. The kind of consistent height they've been to is 1.2. That's the kind of more regular high bar, if you will. So I just feel like that's where they are. That's, they've brought in Danielson, they've brought in CM Punk, they've brought in loads of people, and they just cannot seem to break through. I've said before, I don't know that bringing anyone in particular is going to do it. I feel like you need a story that really connects. And I keep pointing to WCW. WCW did not beat WWE in the ratings when they brought Hogan in. It moved them closer, but they weren't beating them. It wasn't until Hogan turned heel and NWO was formed that we started to then see the momentum shift. And so I feel like you need a big story. You need something that grabs attention. And in fact, look, that's what WWE have done. WWE have done it. But unfortunately, they've done it because of Vince retiring. Vince has retired. Triple H has taken over. That has caught everyone's attention. And boom, they got the ratings as a result. We were just looking at how Raw went up to over 2 million, 2.2. And, it's going to be hard for AEW to do that. But what if Tony Khan stepped aside and someone else started booking the show? But actually, he's still involved in real life. It's all hush-hush. But the message that goes out is that Tony has realized he can't do this on his own. And, he steps aside, and maybe you turn that into a story. What would the rating be for the first show that wasn't Tony Khan booked? What would the rating do for that? So, I don't know. That's the kind of ballpark I think you need to think in regards to, really moving ratings. Because you need that intrigue. Everyone was interested. What will Triple H do now that Vince has gone? And you kind of need that intrigue. There's lots of different ways to do it. But that one seems to be the most productive, is changing Booker. We are underway. There's obviously, we've seen these two fight twice before. I think we're about to go to commercial break. Axiom just getting a nice spot on Nathan Frazier. Nathan Frazier crashing down from the top. And we go to commercial break. G Money Slayer said, haven't heard from John Morrison. No, I don't know what he's doing, actually. I haven't heard anything from him. I mean, I don't know if he's made his money. Obviously, he's in a relationship with Taya Valkyrie. I believe she's doing some stuff. So I believe their household have still got money coming in. But I don't know. I'd imagine the money he got out of WWE was probably quite tasty. My understanding is if you're on the main roster, you're on at least a couple of 100,000 a year. If you're on WWE's main roster. So I think I think he's not struggling for money. Let's put it that way. Who Man Gaming. Really appreciate the support, my friends. It's very, very kind. You should have put a message. I would have read it. I read loads of messages anyway, but Who Man Gaming, shout out to you. That's very kind. I mean, there's nothing more I can say than that because I would explore your comment if there was one. But put something in. I'll keep an eye out for it and see what you're saying. Who Man Gaming? Who are you into? Are you a Bray fan? Are you a Roman fan? Are you a Brock fan? Are you an NXT fan? Are you an AEW fan? Are you a Tony Khan fan? Well, we might never know. We might never know. In my mind, you're a Tony Khan fan. In my mind, he's hugging you right now. Like that. It's just clinging onto you. So, Who Man Gaming, shout out to you. Put something in the chat, dude. I'll read it. Zoom Station said, I think Axiom has got this one. Liam said, Daze, I know you're going to have spoken no end on Bray, but one observation I've got, the new logo reminds me of when Bray goes upside down in the turnbuckle. What would it be in? Upside down. That's interesting. I like that. I like the, is it Cicada, the online mystery thing. That's very clever as well. We did include that in the video, but I appreciate some people might not have seen it. Cicada, I can't remember what it is. Cicada 3. Cicada mystery. Here we go. 3301. I think you say cicada. This one though, good. That's a good observation. That is because the cicada one is not upside down here. So if you look at this cicada thing, you can see that it's quite interesting. This was an online mystery from 2012, 2014, and the logo for it was this cicada, which looks very similar to Bray's logo. If you turn it upside down. Not identical, of course, but as I said, it does look similar. And this is in relation to an online mystery that took place, which was, playing out for a few years. And obviously that's kind of what we just got from Bray. So I definitely see some relation to that as well. But maybe you're right. Maybe the upside down thing could be because of his spider walk thing. What if CM Punk returns to NXT? Said Who Man Gaming. I don't think he would come back to NXT, buds. He's too big for NXT. He's too big for NXT, isn't he? CM Punk, former world champion. I mean, I know we had Dolph Ziggler go to NXT, but I look at how Dolph Ziggler's been used, to be honest. I don't think that is the way forwards. Human Gaming. Did you mean $4.99, dude? I feel like your generosity is very suspiciously generous. Human Gaming, shout out to you. Really appreciate it. There is a tinge of concern right now. We've been down these roads before, and they turned out to be like 13-year-olds. So, Human Gaming. You at school? Human Gaming? Erasure Mind said that's a crazy move. That is a crazy move. There's some great action in this at the moment. We have just come back from commercial break. Human Gaming, I really appreciate the support, dudes. I really, really appreciate it. But you don't need to be sending in like massive super chats like that, dude. You really don't. But it is obviously massively appreciated. AEW has got amazing stories. I love Sammy and the Backstages. Kenny and the Young Bucks backstage. That is why AEW rules. The rest is so-so. Impact is the best, said Alex. Trini said, I'm a WWE fan, but I also love wrestling and combat sports on a whole, so I am open to all promotions. Right, we've got both guys down on the outsides. Trini, what's your name? What's the long version of your? Is it Trinity? Don't know why. That's just something that just suddenly dawned on me. I was like, is Trini a full name, or is her full name Trinity? Maybe she's ashamed of it. I don't know. Please respond. I did see something from Human Gaming, didn't I? But did that disappear? Hi, Carson. Shout out to you. Frazier going up top. Comes down. Oh, gets caught. Triangle. Apply it. Armbar in there as well. AEW versus WWE gets old. My real name is Keisha. Keisha? Why are you calling yourself Trinity then? What's going on? What's happening? Guys, that's a big reveal right there. That's a big reveal. Guys, it turns out Trini, much loved member of the community, is actually fake. Trini is a bot. Please do not interact with the Trini account because it's not real. It turns out that it's based on a woman called Keisha. If that's how you say that. I don't even know if that's how you say the name. Keisha? I think it's Keisha. Keisha. Makes me think of Moesha. Love that show. Moonsault to the outside is because I'm from Trinidad. So it's short for Trinidad, not Trinity. That makes sense now. That makes sense. Big superplex by Nathan Frazier. He's got it. Oh, look at that by Axiom. He just managed to take the back. Look for a rear naked choke. Hey, Trini, how do you feel about Tobago? Do you like Tobago or are they like moody? Do you know what I mean? Whenever I can't think of Trinidad without Tobago. I can't do it. I can't sit here and pretend like Tobago does not exist. Kick coming in by Nathan Frazier. Against the ropes goes Frazier. Clothesline by Axiom. Hayden said, wow, Trini name reveal. Yeah. This is a big stream. Zoom Station said, this is a banger. Hey, where's Human Gaming gone? I was hoping to get some more insight into Human. Oh, I was hoping to get some insight into Human Gaming's mind. Right, we've got both guys down on their knees. Love Tobago. It's unspoiled still. Okay. I don't know much about Tobago. In all fairness, I don't know much about Trinidad. But I just know that they're always connected. It's Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know why, to be honest. You must be like super close. You must be super friendly with each other. It's like how like when kids hold hands to go to the bathroom, you know? Human Gaming said Ron Breaker is a great NXT champion. I agree with that, my friends. Please, I'm going to urge that we stop with the super chats, though, dude. Human Gaming chatted a minute ago about Charlotte returning. Oh, I missed that one. Did I miss that? Oh, yeah, you're right. What if Charlotte returned to Raw next week? Frazier gets the win. Did he get it? Yeah, he got it. Nathan Frazier gets the victory. She could come back to Raw, but probably expecting her to SmackDown. I think she was on SmackDown before she left, wasn't she? Yeah, she was feuding with Ronda. So, yeah. Crowd on their feet for this one. This was a fantastic contest. Get your thoughts in for this match. What would you score it out of 5? Banger after banger after banger. This was a great contest. It's a lovely little reversal that gets the victory. The superplex in there, rolling through. That was nice. I love the way he took the back. The way that Axiom took the back. Hold for hold. Big suplex. There was a kid that was gutted that Nathan Frazier won that one. Kid looked absolutely distraught. He must have been an Axiom fan. Four, 5. Frazier pulls it off. Human Gaming said Bron Breakker is a good NXT champ. I agree. He's a great NXT champion. Don't know how long he'll be NXT champ for, though. Because he might be going to the main roster sooner rather than later. Ladder match lineup. We've got the ladder match lineup. Carmelo Hayes, Oso Mensah, Wes Lee, Von Wagner, and Nathan Frazier. They are all going to be in the ladder match. We're backstage in the car park with Elia. Squared circle is a battlefield. Here's Grayson. Grayson Waller's here. Why are you wearing your grandmother's sunglasses? My eyes are still really sensitive to light, says Grayson Waller. Dragonov said, you want me to stay? I'll stay. Okay, we're backstage now with Sanga, and I don't know her name. She's tiny, isn't she? She looks like his mascot. Indy! That might be your jungle, but tonight, this is my ring. So Indy's going to take on this, I don't know, small person. I don't get why people think Waller is joining Wyatt 6. Waller is clearly playing into the hype. Credit to him. It's working. Elizabeth said there is another Nightmare on Elm Street coming out in 2023. Is there? LC Dub Wrestling Fig said, I'm finally back after a long time. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. We're enjoying a little bit of NXT this evening. Wrestle with Andy said, I was in Home Bargains and I got loads of discontinued foods, BN biscuits and opal fruits. I thought I was in Back to the Future. Interesting. I'm trying to not go down those paths, to be honest, and eat like rubbish. So it's probably best I don't venture into Home Bargains or wherever it was, B&M's. Right, can we get an updated Bray action figure? No. No, you will. You definitely will. Trini said, we're a twin island republic. Tobago can't be its own country. It's dependent on Trinidad. So it's Trinidad and Tobago, just like St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Grenadine? Listen, Trini, that's not even your name. No one's heard of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. No one has heard of those. That's not a thing, right? It's not a thing. Everyone's heard of Trinidad and Tobago. No one's heard of St. Vincent. St. Vincent's a musician, fact. And the Grenadines, I think they're gods, aren't they? Aren't they like, don't they look after the Queen? I mean, they've done a rubbish job because she's dead. But I don't think they're countries. I think you're getting lots of things mixed up there. But, yeah, no one's ever heard of those. But Trinidad and Tobago, you're going to be really pleased to know, quite famous. Quite famous. I've heard of them. I've seen them at, like, the Olympics and things, I think. Although, don't quote me on that. But I've never heard of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Sounds like a band. It's St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So, yeah, no, you've made that up. Jake says, hello, hope you are well. Grayson Waller, single star. Wyatt 6 would end his career, says Michael. Ernesto said, it is. Here in Costa Rica, we hear of them all the time. What, Trinidad and Tobago? I agree. Don't tell me you've heard of the other things. You haven't. Human Gaming, shout out to you, my friend. Please stop. I've been down this road before with other people. Just honestly, you've donated so much and you've been so kind. You've filled the box at the top. So, like, just you comment, and we will all keep an eye out for your comments. Don't worry about that. Yeah? Don't worry about that. Zoom Station said Angela Lansbury, R.I.P. Murder, she wrote. To be honest, I thought she was dead already, if I'm being truthful. Do you know what I mean? Like, respect to the fact she's passed away today. But I was more stunned she wasn't already dead, if I'm being honest. Just being honest. Daze, picture this. A match between Fiend, Gunther. It becomes supernatural. Fiend no-sells the chops. Gunther looks weak at the end. How long would you rant for on stream? If he beat Gunther with supernatural stuff? I would sing. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. And I think what I'd do then is start waving like this, and the picture would just slowly start to fade, quite emotional, be really emotional, and that would actually be the end of the channel. And that would be it. And that would be the end of Wrestling Daze channel. And I'd be singing my way out. Que sera, sera. Que sera, sera. Join in, everyone. Whatever will be, will be. What's going on? Apollo Crews is dreaming of Chucky. What's going on?
Changing one detail can greatly alter how you visualize everything around you. You see things you never saw coming.
Okay. So, little promo from Apollo, and it adds a bit of Chucky in there.
Let's see what happens.
Strange. Just Nick said, I just want you to shout at me. That's like one of those kinky things, isn't it? Isn't that like, I think you're onto the wrong stream. I think you want to go to like X videos and like you go to those streams. This isn't one of those streams. I just want you to shout at me whilst I'm wearing rubber. It's not one of those streams. Not yet, anyway. I mean, it depends if the views decline, to be honest. If the views decline, then I'll, who knows where we'll go. Indy Hartwell versus Valentina. Something. Yeah, I've done it wrong. And it should have been in caps, but... Que sera, sera. Indy versus Valentina. Didn't catch her surname. She used to be in a tag team, didn't she? She gets slammed down. What happened to her tag partner? Where's the tag partner gone? Is she injured? Oh, she did get injured. Do you remember? I remember. Pepper Ridge Palm remembers. Her tag partner did get injured. Here's Veer. Veer's coming down. Sangha. Veer Maham's come down. Sanga's going over. He's grabbing him by the hand. He's saying a word. I think. Do you know what Veer's just said there? Veer's just said, "Listen, we could take these two. You know these two women in the ring. We could take these. We could get a win against these." Sanga's leaving. Oh my God! What a bad friend. What a bad friend. Sangha leaves. Sangha leaves. Indy Hartwell getting a torture rack applied. Valentina back in the corner, back elbow. she didn't need Sanga anyway, in all fairness. What's Sanga going to do on the outside? No one's going to interfere in this, are they? Power of Indy. Look at that. Suplex. Nice. Elizabeth said, I remember Wes Craven's New Nightmare. That was scary. Getting to scary season, isn't it? Time to get scared. I was scared about what Austin said earlier. That scared me. Trini said, do you know who always posts yelling? Kanye. His posts are always in caps. That's probably because the voices in his head are always shouting. Fantina up, driving over, knee to the side of the face as Indy goes down. This is a fairly little competitive contest that we've got going here. Feel so sorry for Indy. We've done nothing with her since the end of the way. I'd say the past year has been pretty awful for Indy Hartwell. She faffed around with Persia Pirotta, didn't she? Valentina back in the corner. Valentina, double knees. Valentina, basement drop kick. Going for the cover on Indy. 1, 2. Kick out by Indy Hartwell. I will get Kanye to yell at me, said Just Nick. Coach Co said, because gelatin is made from animal skin and bones, gummy worms technically have more bones in them than actual worms, which don't have any. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. Job of Kanye. I saw there was a verse doing the rounds online that was J. Cole doing a thing about like some, I don't know, from one of his songs, from one of his raps. He was talking about Kanye and false prophets and whatever. False idols. It's good, actually. It's probably like super old, but I don't listen to J. Cole. And I'm only mentioning him now so that people will go, oh, God, Daisy's cool. Who are these? Are these Pretty Deadly? No? Who are these? Oh, it is Pretty Deadly. I couldn't tell with the hats. We're just here to sit back and relax and watch 3 teams. Okay, well, what's Indy Hartwell meant to do? Just stand there and look at them. Okay, so Pretty Deadly are just here to watch the tag teams. Feel sorry for Indy, because at the end of her match, she looked up and smiled at them as if they were there to support her. And they weren't. Lol. We appreciate Pretty Deadly. Go. Pretty Deadly. Ah, poor Indy Hartwell, man. Poor Indy Hartwell. There was definitely a moment there where she looked up, she was smiling and thought that they were there for her, and they just weren't. Guys, you can't treat women that way. You can't treat women that way. Hayden, if you're watching still, mate, learn from Pretty Deadly's mistakes there. Can't go treating women like that. Enofe and Blades versus Dyad versus... Who else have we got? Briggs and Jensen. Briggs. Jensen. Lovely. Pretty Deadly. More like ugly, harmless. God, that's loud. That was loud, this end. 5 dark Jewish people disagree. That's why he was banned. Pretty Deadly, more like ugly, harmless. Daze, Human left the chat. Human's left the chat. Human's gone. Where's Human gone? Why has Human left the chat? Human, are you still there? Human Gaming. Hello? Are you still there? This is Indy's last night. She's not worried, said Vivich Kevin. Is that true? It's her last night. Pretty Deadly is the cartoon from Saturday Night Live back in the day. AGD come to life, said Bismo. Going Goes said, I'm a human. No, you're not the human I'm looking for. You're not the human I'm looking for. Yeah, you scared him away. He left ages ago. I didn't scare him. How did I scare him away? I didn't scare him away. I was trying to get him to stop super chat. I'm one of the only flipping streamers in the world that would turn around to people and go, don't super chat anymore. Don't send any more. All the other streamers out there are like, guys, yeah, that's amazing. Keep them coming, guys. I'm telling people not to, and he does one. Gaming, are you there? I'm sorry if Sonny scared you away. I'm sorry if Trini's fake name scared you away. Dark Angel said, hello. It's me. Oh, hang on, that's Adele, isn't it? Hello. It's me. Is that how it goes? I was wondering if all these years you'd like to come and see. Come over. Everything. I don't know how it goes. You can tell I'm a massive fan. You're terrible at getting people to stop super chatting. Yeah, but come on, I flipping try. You can't tell me I'm not. I'm trying. If you aren't the humans you're looking for, are we the humans? You're not the droids I'm looking for. We're not the humans. Hang on, what's the line? It's out of Star Wars. Come on, I've seen it once. He does that, doesn't he? We're not the humans you're looking for. They're not the humans we're looking for. It's when he goes to the caf, the bar, on Tattoo, at the start of Star Wars Episode 4. You know that, guys. Come on, we're all nerds. And he tries to get in there, and they get stopped, and he goes, we're not the humans you're looking for. And they go, we're not the humans we're looking for. And he, uses Jedi. Jedis them, doesn't he? You know that bit. At the start of Star Wars. Not the very start. Near the start. If I was to guess, I'd say about 35 minutes in. About 35 minutes in, Obi-Wan. You know Obi. Not the second one, Obi-Wan. You know Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is in the car, and he's going about 35 minutes into Star Wars. The first one, not the episode 1, but episode 4. Don't ask. And he's going from 77. You know that one. About 35 minutes in. And he's going to the caf, Obi-Wan. Not 2 or 3, Obi-Wan, and he's in the car, and he comes across to the caf bar place on Tattoo. You know that one. And he goes to the droid, and he has to do the Jedi thing. You know that bit. About 35 minutes into the first film, and he's, we're not the humans you're looking for. And they go, they're not the humans we're looking for. They basically say back the exact same words. I was referencing that. Cora Jade's here. See what she's got to say, the little scamp. The hard part is going to be narrowing down who I want to pick, says Cora. She can choose the opponent for Roxanne Perez. I can choose anyone from Raw and SmackDown. Do you know who I would pick? I would pick Stephanie McMahon. Imagine if Roxanne Perez has to beat Stephanie McMahon. You know what? Excuse me. I've got some phone calls to make. Have you got Rhonda's number? Have you got Rhonda's number? She wants Rhonda. Here is Briggs and Jensen and Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley with flared jeans. Not in 2022, mate, no. Jacey's in there. What's this? We've got this. This on the go by Jacey. That's probably a message from Bray. It's probably a message from Bray, that is. Right there. Do you mean old Uncle Ben? Yeah, you know, old Ben. You know old Ben. Old Ben Kenobi. Obi Ben. Obi Ben Kenobi. Obi Ben. You know him. That one. About 35 minutes into the first film. Not episode 1, but the one from 77. You know that one. Episode 4. Don't ask. Carson, shout out to you. Going Ghost said, I heard through the grapevine that Austin is the human you're looking for. Is that true? That could not be further from the truth. That is the human the police are looking for. She should pick Bray Wyatt, says Crossover. Good shout. Good shout. I still think Stephanie McMahon. You don't want to beat the boss, do you? You don't want to be beating the boss. That's just not a good look. You're not going to get very far. Forget Uncle Ben. We want Uncle Alan. Uncle Alan. Just Nick said, know what's on the menu? Me and you. Know what's on the menu? Me and you. What is that? Is that a joke? Is that meant to be a joke? What is that? Know what's on the menu? Me and you. I mean, that's not a chat-up line. And you can't even say that in a pub. Can you? You can't go in a pub and say, know what's on the menu? Me and you. Because people, like, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, what do you mean? What do you mean me and you are on a menu? What do you mean by that? And then I'd probably look at it and it'd say, like, I don't know, pork belly. And I'd be like, are you throwing shade at me? What do you mean? Are you calling me fat? Explain yourself, just Nick. Not with the super chat. We're cutting down on super chats. William said, hashtag ban Hooman. But I think Hooman banned himself. Dyad are on the outside of the ring at the moment. Do you know, amazingly, we're almost nearly an hour through the show. It's a very cheesy chat-up line. That will never work. That will never, ever work. You would never be able to say that to a woman or a guy. Do you know what's on the menu? Me and you. Because I don't know that it would take a moment for me to figure out what was going on. If I'm in a club, you know when you're in a club, you got the noise banging. I don't know why Kamala's theme music's playing, but it is. Hey, do you know what's on the menu? Me and you. What? Me and you. Sorry, what? Can't hear you over the Kamala music. Me and you. Oh, forget it. It ain't working. It ain't working for me. No second date. In all fairness, I don't think there was a first date either. Kick to the side of the head by Enofe. And then we get some push-ups as well. Obviously, the winners will take on Pretty Deadly. Daze is up front with his pickup lines. He once told me, I want to be inside you. I almost blocked him, and that's a true story. Right, first of all, it's clearly not a true story, because if I did ever send that to you, there's no way on this world would I almost be blocked. No way on this world. If I ever did actually send that to you, you would have to be flipping resuscitated. Yeah, you wouldn't have no energy to block me. You'd have an oxygen mask on, you'd be passed out. Daze goes to techno clubs, confirmed. Yeah, straight up. That's what I do pretty much every Thursday when I'm not streaming. Just hitting the techno clubs. Big techno guy. Got my big furry boots. Got my glow sticks. Whistle. Woo! Yeah, love it. Love it. I'm wasted here. Flipping wasted here on this rooftop. Hey, where's my clouds? Where's my clouds? Where are my clouds gone? Yeah. Stupid clouds. How long have they been missing? I've never even noticed. All the work I've done to get them clouds. And they don't even do what clouds are meant to do. Unbelievable. Hello, my name is Microsoft. Can I crash at your place tonight? That's a chat-up line. That's a chat-up line. Hang on. And also, kids loved it. Kids flipping loved that. As soon as you delivered it, you were like, ta-da! And the crowd went, woo! Oh, they loved it. They loved it. Applause as well. Do you know what my reaction was? My reaction. So good. So good. Now that's a joke. Is Just Nick around? Just Nick, did you write that down? Did you get that one? Yeah? You stupid me and you, whatever that was. Rubbish. Dark Knight said, here he is. Are you alone? Because you sure have my interest now. See, look, now you've knocked him back on track. That's better. That's much better. You can have... Well done. That was much better. Are you a parking ticket? Because you've got fine written on you. Yes! Ta-da! Woo! Very good. Very good. Boomer said, breaking news. Daze is my stepson. That's news to me as well. Breaking news to me. Coach Scott said, you can actually go to hell. Hell in Norway, that is. Or even hell in Michigan. And don't worry, it doesn't get really hot. I bet it gets really old, though. I bet it gets really old. You can look like a burrito. I could just wrap you and eat you up. You look like a burrito. I could just wrap you and eat you up. Not sure. I mean, there's a bit of like violence implied there. Do you know what I mean? Don't know how I feel about that one. Like the other ones, there's no violence. That one, I feel like you are actually going to capture me in. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, to be honest. I feel like it's better than the me and you one, which I didn't even understand. But I don't like the violence angle. So I'm not a fan of that. Hang on.
And his name is...
Yeah.
I'll give you that one. You can have that. That sounds a bit creepy, said Jim. Yeah, I feel like it's really destroyed the stream. I feel like we're having good bants. Nice time. Everyone was having a lovely time. It was a great Wednesday night. It's not even a Wednesday. And I feel like that's ruined a lot of things, yeah. I'm an astronaut, and my next mission is Uranus. Doesn't really make much sense unless you pronounce the planet incorrect. But I get where you're coming from, Greg. I certainly get where you're going to. I don't know how successful that would be. But it is pronounced Uranus. So I feel like you've got to do science dirty in order for that joke to work. And I will not tolerate that. If there's one thing I'm a big believer in, it's science. Here we go. Look, Briggs and Jensen. Briggs and Jensen. I'm on top of things. Would you like to be one of them? There we go. There we go. Oh, the kids love that one. There we go. Woo! Yeah, nice. Very nice. Daze is doing Daze Funhouse, says David. Nice. Oh, inverted atomic drop, getting to the ropes. Big boots. We might be getting towards the end of this, you know. We are into the final hour of the show. We've already had an hour of the show. Going up top. Crossbody. Is that Blade or Enofe? Forearm strike. Duck underneath. Big kick. Yeah, it is 2 for 1. Both guys going down. Blade and Enofe electric. Knee strike. Blockbuster. That's nice. Going up top. Looking for an elbow. 1, 2. And couldn't get the 3. Jacey is on the outside. Obviously looking after the Dyad. Going for a clothesline over the top. Go both guys. Briggs and Jensen are like smoking guns 2.0, said Bismo. Sonny said, I am a love pirate and I'm here for your booty. There's a lot of ass focus this evening, isn't there? I mean, I'm all for it, but... Oof, goes for a clothesline. Knee to the side of the head. Oh, spin kick. Nice work. Nice work. Elbow. Big boot. Oh my God, it's all going on. Forearm strike. There's so much happening in there. At the moment, the Dyads are... Oh, in charge. Oh. Almost hitting each other. They both go down. Going over for a clothesline. Drop kick. This is like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, says Booker T. This is like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I wonder what Booker T's relationship with Shawn Michaels is like. I've never really thought about that. I don't know that I've ever heard him talk about Shawn. NXT chances. Jacey gets involved. Oof. In the ring. Looks like the beginning of the end. Oh, wow. Cameron Grimes gets involved. Cameron Grimes is going to cost the Dyad 2, 3. Oh. It's a win for Enofe and Blade. Blade and Enofe win. Thanks to Cameron Grimes. To the moon. There we go. It's a win. It's a win for Enofe and Blade. Blade and Enofe. Cameron Grimes. The original fire hydrant patent, which was credited to Frederick Graf Sr. in the 1800s, was lost in a fire. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Well, at least the one thing I will say is it shows there was a real need for his invention. So nothing says that the world needs your invention quite like that one. There we go. It's a victory for Malik, Blade, and Enofe. Here we've got Toxic Attraction, Jacey, Jayne, and Gigi Dolan. Gigi and I should be the #1 contenders, but you're not. But we got attacked in the parking lot. Jayce's about to take care of Alba Fyre. I'm going to send her out. I'm going to send Alba Fyre back to her relatives at Middle-earth. Or maybe we've got a surprise for her. Here is Alba Fyre. What's the best thing about Switzerland? I'm not sure, but the flag is a big plus. Hang on. No. Oh, I don't have a ba-dum-dum. Oh. I thought I had a... I've got a drum roll. It's long, innit? I don't want that. I want... You know... I'll have to get one of them. I always thought happiness started with H, but it turns out mine starts with you. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. I feel like I need a... Oh, I don't have that either. Oh, God, my sound effects are just rubbish. I've only got about 12. I don't have any of them. Are you free tonight, or do you cost? That's nice. Oh... That's nice. You're so attractive, you could be a prostitute. Oh, that's basically what you're saying. That's nice, that is. Because what you're saying there is, like, wow, you are so attractive. You could charge. And is there a bigger compliment than that? Is there a bigger compliment than that? I don't think so. If someone was to say that to me, I'd be like, oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are so attractive. You could be a prostitute. I'd be like, oh my God, thank you. I have thought about it. I decided YouTube was the better way forward. AJ said, are you really good YouTube streamer? No. Because I could stare at you for days. Oh! I mean, the first part let you down because I'm not, but I feel like you got somewhere with the second part. That was a big reveal. And,
His name is...
Yeah.
are you the son? Are you the son? Go on, Ethan. I feel like there's a second part coming. Did your license get suspended for driving all of these guys crazy? I don't even get that. Hang on. Are you just nicking this guy's? Did your license get suspended for driving? Oh, got it now. Got it. Did your license get suspended for driving these guys crazy? Got it now. Got it. I'm going to say that I have to take some of the blame for that not landing. I feel like I could have done a better job of reading that out loud. Maybe I need to revisit the me and you menu one. Perhaps I read it wrong. Perhaps if I was to reread it, I'd be like, oh my God, that is genius. Maybe I need to revisit that one as well. Iris said, why, thank you, Daze. I know I'm a hunk. You are, mate. You are. Cobra said, I'm about to go bird watching before I need to know what a tit looks like. I mean, I don't think that's going to pick up any women. My name's Microsoft. Can I crash at your place tonight? Done now. We've had that one. We've had that one. You can't sit here and listen to what people say and then recycle them and then like make out that they're your own. Although I do appreciate that. I do think that's not enough that happens. There should be more of that. I've got a great one about a menu, if anyone wants to hear that. So, does anyone want to hear my pickup line about a menu? Going Ghost said, was your mum a baker? Because you're a cutie pie. Oh, would that work? I don't even know if that would work. I feel like that might work. Hey, is your mum a baker? Is my mum a baker? Yeah, because you're a cutie pie. I feel like that would work. I feel like that would work. Hang on. That's going to get an applause. Hang on. There. That's good. That's good. You're going to get an eye roll coming back, but you ain't going to get slapped for that, are you? Well, at least I don't think so. Good, that is. That's good. Do you know there's a big sale going on in my bedroom? Clothes are 100% off. That's really good. The kids love that. Kids love that. Kids are really into that one. I think that's really good. I don't know if you could use it because it's very forward, but some people like being cheeky like that, don't they? You know, it's not really my style. I'm more the cutie pie one, but fair play. Me and you equals menu, says Simon. No, turns out it's just as bad as I thought then. We've got Kiana James segment. Fake Stephanie, man. I'm going to be in the ring with one of the Chase University students. Okay, so Kiana Reeves. This is just the beginning. Look at the numbers. Look at that, and they're like, I bet there's no numbers on that piece of paper. Tell it straight up. I bet there's not a single number on that piece of paper. Fake Stephanie. Yeah, fake Stephanie. I wish there was a fake Triple H to go with the fake Stephanie, to be honest. That woman was hot, said Heel Santa. I wonder if her mom's a baker. Probs not. Fake Steph. Right, we have got Jacey, Jayne taking on Jayne versus Alba Fyre. There we go. Jacey, Jayne versus Alba Fyre. Alba Fyre. Na. Right, we've got 47 minutes to go. Strike coming in. Another strike coming in. Another strike coming in. Another strike coming in. Knee coming in. Jacey Jayne in control. Against the ropes, Alba Fyre goes down and she trips over Jacey Jayne. I don't know if Jacey Jayne was meant to go and jump over her, but Alba Fyre landed too close. I don't know if that was a botch or not, to be honest. We've got Gigi on the outside trying to interfere. Cheeky Gigi. Jacey versus Alba. Aside from being sexy, what else do you do for a living, said AJ. Don't know. That's my reaction to it. My reaction is to go... Because there's not like a witty bit to that one, is there? It's like, apart from being sexy, what else do you do? I prefer the cutie pie one. I love how this is now just cheesy pickup lines. I'm sorry. Cheesy. Do you know the number for an ordnance survey? I've got to tell them, I just found a site of marvellous natural beauty. Good flipping luck saying all of that when the club's banging. Jesus. Have you got the number for an ordnance survey? A what? An ordinary survey? No, an ordnance. Do you know what that is? Not sure. An ordnance survey? But they're to do with like natural beauty things, and that's going to be important. Okay. No, I don't. No, I wasn't really looking for one. I don't really want one. Hang on. Have you got the number for an ordnance survey? No, I haven't. I know you don't. I don't really want one. I want to tell them about a natural beauty. Okay. That's you. What? Thank you. Like, in a club, I mean, it just ain't, it's not happening, is it? It's not happening. Alba Fyre to the outside. Down goes Jacey Jayne. Did you just come out of an oven because you're hot? That's better. You can get that across in a club. You can you can get that one over. Roll up by Jacey. 2 to almost a 3. Are you going to kiss me, or do I have to lie to my diary? Oh, that would work if you're a girl, but do guys keep diaries? I don't know that I want to tell a girl that I keep a diary in a club that I've never met when I don't even keep a diary. But if you're a girl, that's a flipping great line. That's a great line. That if you're a girl, I'm a guy. Breaking news. I think we've got some breaking news there. I am a guy. If you use that line, that will work. That will work. Because there's nothing like... There's nothing seedy about that or anything. There's nothing off with that. It's just cheeky. That's good. I don't know that a guy could use it, though. Are you going to kiss me? Have I got a lie to my diary? You keep a diary? No. You do? You just told me you do? No, I don't. I don't keep a diary. Oh, just put all your feelings in there, do you? Just put all your dreams and your wishes in your diary. That's what I would do, sorry. If I was a girl and a guy said that to me, I'd be like, oh, just put all your feelings in there and your thoughts. Yeah, I do, actually. Oh, someone's grabbed the hair of Alba Fyre from the crowds. Sonya Deville? Sonya Deville? Wow. Sonya Deville in NXT. Guys, we got a situation. We've got a situation. Sonya Deville going after Alba Fyre. Sonya Deville back in NXT. He's coming after Mandy Rose. He's coming after Mandy Rose. Yeah, now look at this. Toxic Attraction are coming over to join in. Fyre picked up the win. Hey, is she gonna join? Is she gonna join with them? Because she's obviously great friend. Well, she was great friends with Mandy Rose. Sonya Deville, guys. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The dude next to her can't believe it as well. Wow, they're stripping the table. Woo! The commentary table's been stripped. Alba Fyre gets planted through it. It's quite vicious, actually, you know. Did not see this coming, says Jay. NXT. 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 That was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. Some of you should put that in your diaries. Jacey and the Dyads are upset. Down goes the cameraman. Where's Little Red Riding Hood? Cameron Grimes. We must eliminate you from our worlds. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jacey just said that Cameron Grimes is going to have to face the full force of Schism. Man. Full force of Schism. Schism is going all out for Cam. Oh, there's Little Red Riding Hood. There was Little Red Riding Hood following in the background. Can I come with you, please? Can I come with you? They didn't even acknowledge her. Oh, my God. Little Red Riding Hood is so abused. They didn't even know she was there. They walk off and she's like, I'm here as well, guys. Can I come with you, please? Can I be one of your friends? Wes Lee is making his way down. I can't remember who he's facing, but I don't need to remember because I'll find out now. There we go, Stacks. Stacks. Camera goes down and they all walk off. I'm here as well, guys. I'm here as well. Little Red Riding Hoods. If you was a flower, you'd be a damn alliance, said Crossover. That's all right. I don't mind that. You remind me of Kenny Omega match rated by Dave Meltzer because you're a 10 out of 10. I'd love it if she turned around and went, well, only if I was in the Tokyo Dome. That's how you know you've got a keeper. If she was to turn around and say that, I'd be like, oh my God, I think I'm in love. Oh my God, I think I'm in love. She's actually come back with a witty wrestling rebuttal. Like, damn. You special, girl. William said, to be honest, pickup lines are worthless unless you're hot. For guys like me, we just cut to the chase. Do you want an F9? Do you want an F9? I think that's what Brock Lesnar says as well. I think when Brock Lesnar goes to the club, he's like, let's cut to the chase. I just want to F9 you. I just want to F9 you all night long. Do you reckon that's what he does with Sable? All night long, all night, all night, all night long. F9. Are you a magician? Because whenever I look at you, everyone else disappears. Hey, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right, that is. I don't mind that. You know, I always thought Disneyland was the happiest place on earth, but that was before I got a chance to stand. She's gone by this point, by the way. Tapping on it. You know, I always thought Disneyland was the happiest place on earth, but that was... Where you going? Where you going? Do you know what I mean? How long do you want to stick around for? Just done one. There'll be one less planet tomorrow because I'm going to destroy Uranus tonight. Yeah, you see the problem there, Kevin? The problem there, mate, is it calls back to a point I made earlier. You actually pronounce it Uranus. So that just sounds like you have got literally something in for the planet, Uranus. Like, there's no real connection. I listen, we're all men of the world. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us are men of the world. Some of us are boys, some of us are the other sex, yeah? And we know what you're implying, but it is Uranus. So it does just sound like you've got like something out for that planet. If someone said that to me and they came up to me and they said that line, I mean, first of all, I'd be concerned. But second of all, I would be like, what have you got against Uranus? Like, what is wrong with Uranus? Yeah, it's a perfectly acceptable planet. It's not like Pluto that can't make its mind up as to whether it's a planet or not. Yeah? Oh, I'm a planet. Oh, I'm a dwarf planet. Oh, I'm a planet. Oh, I'm some gas. Oh, I'm invisible. Yeah? If you want to pick on any planet, go after Pluto. It's flipping, can't make it mind up what it is. But Uranus, I think we can all agree it is a planet. Honestly, I just don't see what your beef is with it. And it does a solid job. I don't know what its job is, but it does it very well. Smurfy Tunes says, I'm not a photographer, but I can picture me and you together. That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Banging your head against the wall for 1 hour burns 150 calories. Daze, are you Wi-Fi? Because I'm feeling the connection. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I think my response to that would be yes, but what's your upload speed? Because I'm in the countryside and it's not brilliant for me. So what are you bringing? I'd be interested if you could bring in good upload speed. Downloads, I'm killing it, but uploads, it's a real struggle. Can I get your phone number? Because you remind me of Saturn and I'd give you a ring anytime. Okay. I feel like that's one for the more educated people. Does everyone know Saturn's got rings? I feel like they probably do. I mean, not you lot. You lot wouldn't have a clue, but I think most normal people would know. The oldest your mum joke was discovered in 3,500. What is it? What was it, Kojiko? What was it? What is the oldest your mum joke? Oh my God. Now that has caught my attention. Oldest your mum joke. What is it as well? The oldest your mum joke was discovered on a 3,500 Babylonian tablet. The text said, "Of your mother is by the one who has intercourse with her. Who is it?" There was no response. Huh? What does that mean? So the joke is, of your mother is by the one who has intercourse with her. Who is it? Question mark. Don't even understand it. What does it mean? Stupid 3,500 people. Yeah, old people. What's going on, Quincy Elliott? Quincy Elliott and Hank Walker, are they flirt? Are they going to get in a relationship? Right, here's Stacks. There was no pickup line news there, was there, between Quincy and Hank? Quincy, Zion, Quinn next week. Hanky. Hanky. Hanky Panky. Okay, so Quincy. Hang on, red. Quincy and Hank. Hanky. Quincy versus, who's he taking on? XY Zion. Next week. What have we got now? Wes Lee against Stacks, yeah? Wes versus Stacks. Got half an hour left to go. Best pickup line, come back to mine. Yeet my dog. Yeet my dog. That's very street. Daze, nearly 400 people, and at least one of them is probably going to be under 9. And the word like intercourse, let's calm down. Hey, intercourse is all right. I would say, if anything, intercourse is like the adult way of saying it. So I feel like that's perfectly acceptable. We could say some equivalent words that would be unacceptable, but I think intercourse is all right. If you're a Transformer, you'd be Optimus Fine. Oh, I tell you what, you go to a Comic Con, you'd be fighting them off with a stick with that line. There are 265 bones in the human body. Would you like one more, said Just Nick. No, I mean, where would you put it? We've already got too many. You don't need the tailbone. That's a bone, isn't it? Don't need that one. You can. Some people have had ribs removed, so you don't need those. Do you need a femur? Tibula? Don't know. They probably do something. I don't know. I'd be like, nah. Don't know where I'd put it. I've got too many as it is. I've got too many as it is. What time have you got to be back in heaven? Feel like, I don't know on that one. What time you got to be back in heaven? Be like, whenever I want. The angels don't wait up. I can get back whenever I want. Like, I don't know. I don't know where I'd go with that. Got booze on that one. Are you a roller coaster? I'd definitely like to ride. Oh, God, look at this. We've hit a bad patch. Do you know what I think's happened? I think we've used up all the good ones. I think what we've got now are the dregs. We've got dregs. I like Ronaldo, but I like to get messy.
And his name is...
Yeah.
Daze, I just want to know, what are the boundaries? Because I'm hesitant of saying anything overboard. Well, I think language that would be taught in school by teachers is all right. I feel like if you went to a sex education lesson, I feel like the word intercourse would be used. I feel like that's fine. But, you know, things like the F word, which is the substitute word for intercourse that they wouldn't use in school. Kids would, teachers wouldn't. I feel like there's the boundary. I feel like the F word is a swear word. Intercourse isn't a swear word. Or at least not in the UK. Maybe it is in America. I don't know. Hello, what's this? Trick Williams? Trick Williams laying into Wes Lee. So we had Stacks. It's a mugging. It's a flipping mugging. Carmelo. Oro Mensah's got him. So Wes Lee came crashing down. So Wes Lee gets the win over Stacks. He's then attacked by Trick and Carmelo. Wes Lee comes crashing down to the outside. On top of Carmelo and Trick. Oro is in there with Wes. This could be built into a tag match. Oh, here's Sonya. We all were. Mandy and I might have had our differences, but she's still my best friend. Okay. I'm here. I need to do something. Sonya will be in the ring next week. Sonya will be in the ring next week. Waiting for Alba Fyre. Alba Fyre. Ethan said, trust me, I'm not drunk. I'm just intoxicated by you. I'm booing that as well. Coach Co said, during your lifetime, you will produce enough saliva to fill 50 bathtubs. Oh. My love for you is like diarrhea. I feel like we can stop there. I mean, they've literally just walked away. Rob said, I can promise a 20-minute instant classic with no dusty finish. I feel like that's for the female wrestling fans out there. Kevin said, put your helmet on, love, because you're going through the headboard. Put your helmet on, love, because you're going through the headboard tonight. I feel like that one is straight to the point. Loving that. Loving that. Woo! Certainly if you brought a helmet with you as well. I'm like Arsenal. I'll stay on top, but I'll still finish second. Wow, that's good. If they're into football. That's a terrible pickup line. Saying diarrhea in any pickup line is not hot. Depends what they've been eating. Are your pants made of glass? Because I can see myself in them. Can't see yourself in glass, can you? I mean, you can in a mirror. But if I get a glass to drink out of and look at it, can I see myself in it? I can't. Depends what the lighting's like, to be honest. I feel like in a club where it's pitch black, they could be wearing glass pants. They could be, and they could show you, and you wouldn't see a thing. I feel like the lighting is very important in that scenario. That's where my head goes to. If someone was to say that to me, I'd be like, you can't. Even if I was, you wouldn't see yourself in them. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Excuse me, I'm lost. Can you give me directions to your hearts? I feel like the cutie pie one. You see, there's nothing offensive about that, but I feel like the cutie pie one was your mama baker because you're a cutie pie. I feel like that really satisfied me. I felt satisfied by that. That is my favourite one tonight so far. I really like that. Are you a Pokemon? Because I would like to peek at you. Oh, that's all right. I don't know anything about Pokemon, but I've heard of that one. So, yeah, that's all right. I don't mind that. It's a bit pervy, but I don't mind it. By the way, just out of interest, is anyone watching NXT tonight? Anyone watching NXT? Any thoughts on NXT this evening? I mean, we can do Tuesday night pickup lines if you want, but... Oh, look! Oh, there's Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile and Roderick Strong. It's tough seeing you like this. One day at a time. Damon's going to pay for what he did to you, Roddy. Hope they got some extra beds. Just want to tell you guys. Sorry. I'm the one that brought Damon in. And I asked you guys to trust me. Emotional. A few weeks ago, I would have been fighting right by your side. But you guys can. At Halloween Havoc. I just need one thing. Win. Diamond Mine forever. It's emotional. Do you follow Manchester? Because I can see us united, said Crossover. What if they're a City fan? What if they're a City fan? You're so beautiful, you made me miss NXT, said AJ. I like that one. I like that one. Hang on. Kids like that one. Right, here's Kiana James. Kiana James is going to be taking on someone from Chase U. Is she going to be taking on the girl from Chase U? The girl. What's her name? The one I like. Not in that way. Not in a Are You a Baker way. But in that one. Well, she ain't going to be taking on Andre Chase, is she? Is it Taylor? Tala? Potato. No one says potato. Anyone in the world ever said potato? It doesn't happen, does it? Right. Fake Steph in the ring. Here we go. Andre Chase. Yeah! This is going to be fire. Thea, hail. Go on, Thea. Thea, hail. Thea, hail. Yeah. Go on. Go on, Thea. Go on, girl. Yeah, look at them running around in a circle. Thea, 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 Thea. Let's go. Yeah. Go on, Thea. Go on, Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. What are you doing in the ring? What's Robert Stone doing in there? They're laughing at me because of you. Sucks to be you, doesn't it? Do you think it was a good idea to put your hands on Mr. Stone? I'm going to ruin your night. He charges over. She picks him up. Big back body drop by Thea. Kicks away on Robert Stone. Stone going out the ring. Oh, watch out for fake Steph. Watch out for fake Steph. No. No. Ah, robbery. 1, 2, kick out. Oh. The worst episode. Damn you, Robert Stone. So excited. So into that moment then. I was living my best life for about 5 minutes, if that, probably not that long. I was living my best life and it all got stolen away. I didn't catch who won that last match, guys. I don't know. I'll have to put down unknown for the review. Right, Stacks has got another match. We've got 17 minutes left to go. Who is it? Okay, who's Stacks got? Who against who? Listen. I love you, kid. You'll know when the music hits, says Tony. Take on anybody. Here's Ilya Dragunov making his way down then. Dragunov is it. It's going to be Dragunov against Grayson Waller, main event. Dragunov making his way down, taking on Grace. I think it's Grayson Waller, isn't it? Ilya. Oh, is there an overrun? Is there an overrun? Is there an overrun? Oh, I better not be no stupid overruns. Don't need an overrun. Don't need an overrun. BS. I've put BS. I've put BS. I didn't even mean to. Isn't that amazing? The moment that I realised that there's a potential overrun, I put BS down in the chat. Exactly what it is. You remind me of Goldberg because even though you have a real good streak with people before, they've passed away. There's literally an overrun every week. Well, I thought this was meant to be a better NXT that got rid of him. Thought this was meant to be an NXT that made me happy. You remind me of the 20 letters of the alphabet. Guessed I missed the URAQT. Sahil. I feel like that's going to work if you're chatting up a 17-year-old. I mean, I would have said younger, but we can't do that. That ain't picking up any 20-year-olds. Let me tell you, mate. I'm just giving you some. I'm giving you some advice there. That's free advice. Hey, girl, are you Tyler Breeze? Because you're so gorgeous. Says Tony says rubbish. I'll give you an A because you're awesome, a B because you're beautiful, a C because they've passed out. Oh, do you play soccer because you're a keeper? That's better. Boom. Did you get it now? Yeah. For those of you that are still struggling, it's got to be like that, innit? The window to actually talk to someone is usually very small. The smallest bone in your body is in your ear, says Kojiko. What's the difference between you and sunglasses? Sunglasses sit higher on my face. Oh, that's going to work, but it's going to need to be a very certain type of person. Dark Knight said, do you remind me of the chemical elements because I want to periodically date you over the next few weeks. A few beers, that's going to be hard, isn't it? I feel like it's all right. I'm not going to boo that. Nah, I did. I did anyway. No, Joe Jacey, said the scientist. We have seen Joe Jacey. We have seen him. Are you a time traveler? Because I can see you in my future. Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that. It's good. I like the keeper one. I like the time traveling one. Hayden said it's... Hayden, how did you chat up your girlfriend? Hayden's got a girlfriend, but we haven't explored how he chatted her up. Hayden, please respond. How did you chat up your girlfriend, please? Look at all these lines that people are chucking out when we've got Hayden, the lady killer, over here. Went lady fishing and only caught one, didn't he? Reeled her in. That's how you catch women, by the way. I'm getting old. I've got back pain. Please send help, said Sonny Wolf. Yes, great chat up line. Robert Stone being laughed at. Here's Von Wagner. It's time to get serious. We know who I'm up against. I'm sorry. It's time for you to be champion. Okay. Here's Joe. Here's Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes. To the moon. Mackenzie Mitchell. He's got such energy, hasn't he? He's a good promo. Mackenzie Mitchell. Here's Cora Jade. Rhea Ripley wants me to go to Raw. Cora said she's going to Raw. So Cora is going to pick her opponent from Raw. Roxanne is going to pick her opponent from SmackDown. Stacks versus an opponent of Tony Giangelo's choosing. Stacks versus... So, Alba Fyre versus Sonya next week. Dun, 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 dun. Right, main event time. Main event time. If you are just joining us, there is an overrun this week. Here's Grayson Waller. Are you a chicken farmer? Because you sure know how to raise... chickens. That's not going to work at all. I think I saw you on Spotify as the hottest single of the year. Oh, they might not be single, but it's a good way of finding out if they're single. Yeah. Smurftoons, that's good. Can I follow you, please? Because my mum said I had to follow my dreams. I don't think you should bring your mum up when you're doing a chat up, Lion. That's not the Ric Flair way. I think Sonya is definitely going to join Mandy and then potentially turn on her again, said AJ. Aside from being sexy, what do you do for a living? Doesn't have the wit. Lacks the wit. Tennis player can be fined up to 20,000 for swearing whilst playing at Wimbledon, says Coach Co. Wow. Right, we are underway with our main event. Ilya Dragunov versus BS because of the overrun. Waller. Tim said UFC this weekend. Dort Knight said, do you remind me of MJF? Because even though you would rather be with someone else, you have settled and you are staying with me. Everything about that's brilliant. Main event, let's go, said Joe. Did you hear WWE reached out to AEW about Billy Gunn doing a brief DX reunion, which was declined by Tony Khan? I don't blame Tony Khan for doing that, to be honest. Last time he let him go for the Hall of Fame thing, they, took the mick, didn't they? So, sent on there by Ilya. Ilya back in the corner, charging over. Knee to the midsection. Ilya has got Waller. In the center of the ring and over to the corner. Waller steps between the ropes. But if being sexy was a crime, you'd be guilty as charged. That's all right. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Dragunov down on his knees over in the corner. Down goes Ilya. He's looking over. Oh, did he just gesture over at Booker? Oh, Grayson Waller blowing some kisses at Booker. And he's like, shall I do a spinneroonie? What? Imagine Booker T against Grayson Waller. Damn. That might be all right. Grayson and Booker. Booker. So he went down on his knees, did that, and then crotch chopped over in his direction. I'm going to answer your question. My answer is that my girlfriend found my profile She then messaged me last Tuesday night, and that's where I met her. Okay, where was your profile, Hayden? Where was your profile? Your profile of what? Was you on a dating thing? Ethan says, do you have a name or can I call you mine? Oh, I thought you meant your name. Do you have a name or can I call you mine? I'm Ethan, by the way. Well, I wouldn't want to be called Ethan if I was a girl. Have you got a name or can I just call you mine? Oh, that legit confused me for a second. No. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, I don't know. What's your name? They'd be like, well, I'm Sharon. I'd be like, no, I don't want to be a Sharon. Yes, says Hayden. Hayden, Crossover would like to know, was it Tinder? Dort Knight would like to know, is it LinkedIn? Which one is it, please? Was it Plenty of Fish? Was it Tinder? Was it, Any others? Cupid? Grinder? I don't know any. I mean, that's it. I'm out. Which one was it? Hayden? Smurfy Toon said, if you was a hamburger at McDonald's, you'd be McGorgeous. Don't sell them. I mean, that would work if there was a McGorgeous. Big Time Back said, I'm just curious, but growing up, did you have Sky or Virgin? And was it through cable or satellite? So we had cable, which wasn't Sky. Can't remember who it was. It wasn't Virgin. I don't know. I can't remember who provided it, but it was cable and it wasn't satellite. We didn't have satellite. Came through the ground. And it had things like UK Gold and it had those sorts of channels. Basically, a lot of the channels you get on Freeview now, we had in the late 90s, early 2000s. Things like Bravo and stuff like that, you know? But The Box. I remember The Box. I used to watch The Box a lot. I don't even know if that channel's still going, actually. It was a music video channel. Just played music videos. I used to watch that. Nickelodeon was on there. Cartoon Network was on there. I think we must have had like a kids package. So, we had that. But it wasn't Sky because that's what I wanted when I was young. When I was young, I was desperate for Sky. Desperate for Sky Sports. Desperate for Sky One. But we never had those packages. It was really disappointing. So, I missed out on those. I don't know who provided it. I really don't. I don't believe it was Virgin. We'll never know. Cable, Virgin, used to be Telewest. Ah, that does ring a bell. Telewest does ring a bell, James. That does ring a bell. Look at you and your knowledge. Look at you. Where did you watch Sky Sports? Well, I didn't. We never had it. But I used to get like shows on videotapes. So I was able to watch like wrestling shows that way. I would go to my nan and granddad's every week and there'd be like a videotape that my cousin, my uncle actually would record because they had it. So I used to get them that way. Sometimes we didn't go every week, so I had to get like, a couple of tapes when we would go, but just VHSs, man, all the time. And if ever I was round like theirs, I would never be round theirs on a Monday, but if ever I went round, there was normally some sort of wrestling thing I hadn't seen that they'd have a tape of. So my cousins were really into it. So I used to be able to kind of catch it that way. But to be honest, I missed loads from the 90s. People don't realise how amazing the network is. People really take it for granted. I take it for granted. It's incredible. The network is incredible. To have all of those old shows in one place. To think what we had to used to do. Used to have to record shows every week. Or you'd watch them and, 10 tape them. If you didn't tape them, there was no way of rewatching them. They might show a replay, but you just have to wait for that. None of this watch on demand stuff. Watch on demand. You kids. So weird to have grown up before the internet and now see where the world is. I feel like the change that we've been through in the last 20 odd years, 30 years, it's got to be one of the biggest changes in the history of mankind. It's got to be. It's got to be. If you look in the history of mankind, the arrival of the internet has got to be one of those revolutionary, like massive, like when you're talking about the history of mankind, you've got to talk about the arrival of the internet. You've got to. And that happened in our lives, in our lifetimes, that happened. I can remember the world without it. It's mental. Basement dropkick by Grayson Waller. He's trying to choke out Ilya Dragunov. Have you got Sky now? Yeah. I got it now. It's one of those things. It's kind of like I've got it now, and it still feels special to have it because I went so long without it. It feels really weird having it now. It feels like I've made it. It feels like that's it. That's all I need in life. To have something I went so long without having, but I've got it now, is weird. It's really weird. They always say that you don't need loads to feel like you've made it type thing, you know? Like you don't, I think they say you just need enough to cover your bills. You just need enough to cover your bills, have the odd meal. And that's it. Any more than that, it's just a waste, really. You don't get any happier if you've got, like, you know, $1 billion. If you've got $1 billion, you're no happier than if you had 500 million. You're no happier if you had 50 million. It doesn't make any difference. They reckon your peak happiness is if you can cover your bills. Cover your bills, have a holiday each year, and go to the restaurant once in a blue moon. Go to a restaurant, cover your bills. That's peak happiness. I can see that. I'm over the moon that I've got Sky Sports. Grayson Waller was about to leave. The wheel started spinning on its own. And Ilya Dragunov with some suplexes. And he gets the victory. It's a win for Ilya. The wheel, what was the wheel about? I don't know. Could have been someone behind it. Do you feel down? Because I can feel you, said Crossover. How awful was the method of paying $50 for a pay-per-view? Yes. Yes. That did suck. Made it feel a bigger deal, though. But I don't want to go back to that. Dragunov gets the victory then. I feel like Apollo Crews is coming. Dark Knight said, how come the show is still on? Oh! Bron attacks Ilya. Bron attacks Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov. Triple threat match. I really thought Apollo was coming. Indoor plumbing is better than the wheel. Oh, JD Manamana is in the crowds. JD Manamana in the crowd watching and applauding as the show comes to an end. There we go. The overrun was only 5 minutes. There we go. Right. Anything interesting happened with Jacey? Nah, not really. No. Right, that was NXT. Right, we have got on the second channel, not this channel. This is what I like to call the first channel. But over on the second channel, we've got the review for NXT. we're going to blast down everything that happened, talk about the show, get to your thoughts and questions, and we will do that in about 25 minutes' time. To be honest, I probably could have started it a bit earlier than that, but I thought I would push it back because of the overrun, which I did actually remember when I set the streams up. And you also never know, like, if there's going to be any major videos or anything that needs to be done. I don't feel like there is. Sonya Deville's probably the biggest thing tonight. I don't know if that feels that big, to be honest. So, yeah, we'll jump over there. So, we're going to wrap this up. We'll do the NXT stream. We will absolutely be on time. Don't have any plans to do anything before. So, we will be on time over there. I'm going to load up all the pictures and everything now. So, a big thank you to everyone that joined us. Big thank you if you sent through a rubbish chat up line. But a big thank you if you sent in a good one as well. Really appreciate the support. A little bit chilled for this NXT stream. Of course, we will be back with AEW tomorrow. As we said, we're back in about 25 minutes on the second channel. That's going to be for the review. But yeah, really appreciate the support. Thanks a lot for joining us. And I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.